Whether it's a product for home or business, farm or factory, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
More than 15 years ago, in the 1930s, the aimless years, the years at low tide. Rockport was a city of 200,000 then, sprawling along the banks of the river. In the residential section, there were trees and private homes, and it was quiet. This was where the Mallorys lived. Meg was just 21. All mornings were hard for Meg, but Saturdays were the worst.
Oh, don't be tiresome.
Meg, are you awake?
No. But come on in anyway.
Oh, well, now this is a fine way to be ready.
Darling, I just woke up.
You're going with me to the opening of the airport.
Today?
Saturday?
Darling, how desperate. I'll be dressed in 3 minutes. What time is it?
Well, it's 11 o'clock, but it's not that serious. I have to stop at the office anyway. Bob will pick you up on his way back.
I'll be ready. Would you like me to deck myself out in something snazzy?
No, it's raining and you'd attract too much attention.
Oh, you're playing the part of the homespun mayor today, is that it? Whenever you get homespun, you talk for hours.
Well, it would do you good to listen to your father once in a while.
What makes you think I'll listen?
You're disrespectful, young lady.
I can afford to be. Because I'm really quite proud of you, and you know it.
Yes, I also know you didn't get in until 3:30 this morning, and you stayed downstairs talking for 20 minutes.
Darling, if I'd been getting into any trouble, I wouldn't have been talking.
Is there anyone serious, Meg?
Not yet, worse luck. I always begin to giggle at the crucial moment.
Well, someday you're going to find it's not so funny.
And the person I was talking to in the hall was your upright young secretary. And he's practically one of the family. Nothing could be much safer than that, could it?
Nothing.
You weren't supposed to hear that.
We better get started, sir.
Yes.
I'll be a lovely thing if you both get out of here and leave me a little privacy. Oh, will you tell Gia to put the coffee on?
No, you'll have to do it yourself. She's gone downtown.
Meg? Meg, you haven't fallen back to sleep again, have you? Meg?
Mr. Mayor, we are holding your daughter. If you want to see her again, don't call the police. Sit tight, we'll get in touch with you.
Perhaps you're comfortable, but I'm certainly not.
That's too bad.
Getting dark. In a half hour, we can head into town with that letter.
You're not going to leave me here like this, I hope.
Don't worry. One of us will stay here with you.
You know, there's an assignment I'd like to have.
Nobody gets any special favors around.
Okay, okay. What do we do? Cold deck?
No. I spade.
Look, you guys know the ropes on this stuff a lot better than me. I'll stick around here tonight if you want.
You'll take your chances like anyone else. Now go on. Cut. Well, kid, looks like you stay. I'll be back in the morning. Now it's your turn. We got a letter to write for us.
Letter?
Yeah. Your old man.
Can't write very well with these on.
Okay, Con. Turn the right one loose.
Oh, that's a relief.
You'd better write what we want you to write. Ready?
Yes. So don't worry, Dad. I'm all right. Love, Meg.
Well, at least she's alive.
$60,000. They're no pikers, are they?
Well, I've only given us 48 hours over a weekend, too.
How are you going to raise that much money?
They won't worry about that. They know I'll raise the money if it puts me in hock for the rest of my life.
That's all right. Oh, I'd almost forgotten I was in the galley.
That was the idea.
What?
To let you forget for a while.
I haven't been that much of a gloom, have I?
Who are you trying to kid?
What?
You're scared. It's written all over you.
Why shouldn't I be? A little, anyway.
More than a little. I caught the look on your face when we was cutting for high spade.
I was afraid one of the others might win.
What makes you think you're any safer with me?
I don't know. I just do, that's all.
You don't know much, do you?
No.
The coffee ought to be hot by now. We can both use a cup, I guess. It's hot anyway.
Can't do much with these on.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I don't know why Dan thought he had to do this to you. He's always had it in for women. He likes to see them hurt. You okay?
Yes. He's your brother, isn't he?
Yeah. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to knock his teeth in. But it seems he was always doing me a favor, making me feel a heel like now.
What favor is that?
Letting me in on this job. I've been broke for 6 months, no work. He made the others cut me in.
Is this your first job?
Yeah. Drink your coffee. How long you figure it'll take your old man to rake up the 60 grand?
I don't know. Maybe he won't ever get it. What will they do to me if he doesn't?
Forget it.
No, please, I'd rather know. The worst part is not knowing.
I'm not sure what they're going to do any better than you are. I just know you're a good kid. They shouldn't take it out on you.
But they will.
Maybe not.
Well, what's to stop them?
Shut up! Lousy coffee got cold.
Oh, would you like me to get up?
No, just sit there.
Oh, please. It would feel awfully good to be doing something.
Okay, go ahead. Your old man will be going nuts by now, I suppose.
Yes.
You and him get on pretty good?
There's been no one else since Mother died. Tried to take her place, but I haven't quite made it. She was rather special.
That'd be different. I hated my old man's guts.
Why?
He was sort of like Dan, only worse. He used to beat my mother up all the time. When one of us tried to step in, he'd turn on us.
Oh, that must be terrible. Living with someone you hate.
And he was mean. One time I was about 9, I guess. I stole a buck from him. Well, he grabbed me and he took me out to a shed and he locked me in. When I heard him walking away, I got scared. I thought he was going to leave me there. So I began pounding on the door and hollering, "Where you going?" "For an axe," he said. For 2 hours he left me there, waiting and waiting. I went half crazy figuring what he was going to do. Then I hear him coming back and unlocking the door. He just stood there looking at me and he started to laugh. "That'll teach you," he said, and he walked off. I could hear him laughing clear back to the house.
That's why you know so well how I feel.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Oh.
You don't leave a guy alone, you know. You keep bothering him.
I don't mean to. I'm not trying to.
I know. You're too innocent. That's what drives a guy crazy.
But don't look at me. Just forget about me. Start playing the harmonica or something.
Yeah, I gotta do something.
Sit down, will you? $60,000. I have all the serial numbers.
Yes, sir. I made 3 copies.
And you're clear about what you're supposed to do.
Right. I should be back in less than an hour.
Oh, hey, you better go out the back way. Whoever that is, I'd assume they didn't see you. Oh, Sid, I didn't expect you.
Oh,
Right.
well, I'm sorry to bust in on you
That's
so
all right.
late. You alone?
Yes, Bob Downs is here, just left. Come in, sit down.
Yeah.
Have a drink?
No, we won't be staying that long.
Uh-huh.
J.B. just telephoned in from out of town.
Oh,
About what?
well, he just got word you're going to pay the $60,000 ransom. Is that right?
Yes.
He doesn't think you should.
What?
I'm just telling you what he said.
Oh, what does he want me to do? Sit back and let them kill the child?
He thinks the police can handle it better than you.
Yeah, well, I don't. I'll take his order about a lot of things, but not this.
We know it's a tough decision, Will.
Besides, you're a little late. I've already paid the money.
Well?
The full $60,000?
Uh-huh.
That's a lot of money to put aside on your salary, Will. Somebody's liable to start asking questions. Somebody might even be the income tax boys.
How do you suppose I haven't thought of that?
There's a lot of things to think about besides yourself. That's the last thing J.B. mentioned. In case we were late, he thought you ought to know.
What?
You're on your own. Don't expect any help from anyone from now on. We never knew you.
In other words, I'm supposed to keep my mouth shut and take the rap, huh?
That's exactly right, Will. Whatever it is, you take it, or else. Clear?
Yeah. Quite clear.
About time the kid got back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe one of us should have gone along. You don't suppose he'd be sap enough to blow, do you?
No, he's still damp behind the ears. He'll be back.
How about you, baby? Want a drink?
No, thanks.
What's the matter? Trying to put on the innocent act?
Somebody's coming.
Carl?
Yes.
You got it? Yeah, it's all there.
Count it.
Yeah.
You're terrific.
Kind of a relief, huh? We can let you go now, I guess.
What are you doing?
Letting her go.
What's the rush?
We got our 60 grand, ain't we?
Sure. It's bad for little girls to go wandering around at this time of night. Besides, we got some celebrating to do.
Look, we can do that after she's gone.
Look, kid, keep out of this. This is between Con and me.
No, do you hear?
Take your paws off of me.
Nothing's gonna happen to her, do you hear?
Well, you little punk. No. Dan and little Meg have got some unfinished business.
Oh, tough guy. Let's play rough. Okay.
Oh, please.
We gotta get you out of here right away.
What would they do to you?
Nothing, once they so. What does that mean?
I don't honestly know.
What time is it now? Almost 5. How long do we have to wait? How do we know they'll ever release her? How do we know they have an off back?
Huh? Put it out of your mind.
I'll try to. Oh, God. I love that kid more than anything in the whole world. What'll this do to her, Bob? What'll it do to her? You go, Bob. Oh.
It's Meg, sir.
Meg! Oh, God.
Where did you find her, Haggard? Down to the golf course. You didn't let any of the papers on you. Oh, Mr. Downs, they'll be around soon enough as it is. Thanks, Haggerty. There'll be nothing else now. If there is, we'll call you. Good night, Mr. Downs.
Let go of me, Bobby.
Sure, I was just so...
I want to sit down.
Are you all right, Meg? They didn't hurt you, did they?
No.
Can I get you anything?
Thanks, Bob. I just want to sleep.
Sure,
I
come on.
remember when I slept.
I'll take you up. You need some sleep. In an hour or so, this will leak out, and the reporters will be all over us.
Reporters?
Uh-huh.
I suppose they will. What will they want to know?
Oh, everything.
They'll just want to know if you can identify the kidnappers. Can you?
Yes. But I won't.
What?
Well, they did nothing to me.
Meg, they're the lowest, the
Is
vilest.
that what I'm expected to say?
Of course.
Well, I won't.
Do you realize what you're saying?
Yes, and I know what happened, and you don't. And if anybody asks me, reporters or anyone else, I'll tell them.
Oh, but Meg, you can't do that.
Yes, I can.
Bob, you talk to her.
Not now, sir. She's tired.
I am tired. Desperately tired.
Of course, forgive me. Come on, I'll take you upstairs.
No, I'd rather go alone.
She'll be all right.
Now that you've seen part one of Westinghouse Studio 1, let's turn to our program. Come to the fair. Say, what fair is this?
The Westinghouse Freedom Fair. You'll find it in every Westinghouse dealer store in every town in the United States. So go to the fair at your dealers. See these 7 great Westinghouse appliances and learn how they bring you hours of freedom from drudgery every day. For instance, here's freedom from all the mess and nuisance of defrosting. When you own a frost-free refrigerator, your defrosting chores are gone forever. And here's the reason. It's this magic counter button, the sign of the frost-free system. You never touch it. Every time you close the door, this knob pushes the button. And the moment that frost forms on the freeze chest, this button automatically gives a signal, and the frost-free system goes to work. And it defrosts so fast that your frozen food stays safely, firmly frozen. And if you look in the frost-free for a drip pan or a jar to empty, you won't find any. The frost-free doesn't need one because the defrost water evaporates automatically. And just look at the capacity in this great refrigerator. It frees you from extra shopping trips because it holds a whole week's supply of food for the average family. Just look at the size of this giant freeze chest, for instance. And here is a real big meat keeper. And down here are 2 humid drawers. They keep almost a bushel of green things garden fresh for days. And these sturdy door shelves come in mighty handy, too. They're easy to reach, and they're built right in the door. All the room you need to free you from unnecessary shopping trips, and defrosting that's completely automatic to free you from all the chores of defrosting. No other refrigerator gives you as much freedom as the frost-free. Go to the Freedom Fair at your Westinghouse dealers and see it. And remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
And now let's return to Westinghouse Studio 1 and the story of Meg Mallory.
Come in. Bob, I'm glad it's you. I was afraid it might be Dad.
How are you feeling?
Not much of anything.
You didn't eat any dinner.
I wasn't hungry. Thanks for not looking at me as if I'd done something criminal. Everybody else has all day.
Well, you may be wrong, Meg. I'm not even sure of that.
Was it wrong to tell the truth?
Was it the truth?
Whatever concerned them was true. What's the latest word? Have they picked up any more of the bills?
Yes, 3. The police seem to think they'll pick them up in a few hours.
What would they do to them?
That depends a lot on how they behave.
Yes, I suppose so.
Meg!
Another inquisition, I'm afraid.
Meg!
Tell him I'll be down, will you, Bob?
Meg's coming right down, Mr. Mallory.
Thanks.
You better phone her after you talk to her.
We've got to get the word to J.B. as soon as possible. We'll be at the club.
All right, I'll give you a ring. Good night. Oh, hello, Meg. Thanks for coming down.
Would you prefer to have me out of this, sir?
Well, possibly.
Please, I'd like to have him here.
Of course. Just you say sit down, Meg. Had a hard day, I guess.
We both have. I haven't done you any good politically, I know. The mayor's daughter is supposed to say the right things. I didn't.
No, but it's not just a matter of politics, Meg. It's a matter of principle.
Principle?
Uh-huh.
On what principle should I say I loathe and despise a person when I don't? That I want to see him caught and strung up by the neck
Meg,
when I don't?
Have you any idea how far your father had to go into debt to raise $60,000?
Yes, but that's unimportant now.
No, it isn't. I haven't expressed my gratitude very well, I know. Dad, it's just that I've always known that if ever anything like this happened, I could count on you no matter what it cost. That's why I love you, I guess.
And I love you too, Meg. That's why I know when you see this thing straight, you'll do the right thing.
So ask too much, Dad.
Yeah,
Don't.
but I'm only asking you to stop and think for a minute. There's no more hideous crime in the world than kidnapping. Suppose those men didn't torture you, try to take advantage of you. What would they have done if the $60,000 hadn't been paid? You think they'd have let you go? No, they'd have murdered you in cold blood.
What right have I to guess what they would have done? I only know what they did.
But that's not enough. I'm elected by the people of this town to maintain some safety for them and their children. I can't go soft because my daughter was let go. I've got to hunt those men down and make them pay. Now, that's my responsibility before God, and I can't do it, Meg, without your help. You're the only one who can identify them.
I can't do it, Dad. I can't.
Why not? What do you owe these men that you should take their side against decent people all through the country?
I owe one of them a great deal.
Oh, now, Meg, please. That's ridiculous and childish.
Perhaps it is, but I can't help it. I'm not going to help convict someone I...
Yes?
Someone who risked his life to save me.
Oh, I can't believe this. Meg. Meg. I feel as if I was talking to someone I'd never known.
I was afraid you'd take it like this. That's why I didn't want to tell you. You'd better go.
Not yet, Meg. I have something to
Bob,
say.
you're not fighting against me,
I've listened
too.
to everything you've said, Meg, and I think you're wrong. You owe it to your father to know at least how much you're going to hurt him by all this. Ask him what Sid Proctor and Roy Danvers were doing here. Ask him what they said.
What did they say, Dad?
They were pretty blunt, Meg. They warned me that if you didn't retract by tomorrow morning, appear in court against these men, they'd expect my resignation.
By noon.
It's your whole life, isn't it?
Just about.
Didn't know.
Hello. Yes? What? Thanks, Haggerty.
What was that about?
They just got word they picked up the men in Tulsa an hour ago.
All three?
All three.
You can call the papers, Bob. Tell them I'll appear in court.
I wish they'd stop saying Meg's testimony did it.
What else could they say?
And I saw her face when she testified against him in court. Suffered more than we'll ever know.
Yes, I guess.
Was she in court today when they gave out the sentence?
Yes, she got up while Judge Lane was speaking and walked out.
You have no idea where she left, huh? Where she went to?
No, haven't you?
No, she said very little to me for a long time.
After 7, she ought to be here by now.
What are you thinking?
Nothing.
Happened to me. Tell me why when we dance so sweetly. Tell me why my heart couldn't see. I never dreamed of romance.
Mr. Downs?
Never gave it a chance.
I hope he's all right. I called the house. It's more better than call the police. It's no good for business. I call the police.
How long has she been here?
For 2 days. I cannot get her out. I don't want to throw her out.
What sort of a state is she in?
going to sit here. Order me another drink. I'm flat and I've run out of credit.
What were you drinking?
Rye. Don't let him drown it.
2 Droppo. Bring me her check.
Very cagey. Indulge the girl with one more drink and then drag her home to Papa. Give me a cigarette, will you? Mayor's daughter ended up an awful mess, didn't she? Down to my toes.
But you needed some sleep.
No, I tried that. There were a lot of people lined up in front of me, with a big fat noose over every head. I was moving along down the line, pulling the rope around their necks. Carl was the last. I can do without sleep.
Take it easy.
You're my favorite wet nurse, Bob. When are you going to start giving me the lecture?
I'm not.
Well, that's something anyway. Glad you came, as a matter of fact. I was even thinking of calling you.
I wish you had.
I wanted you to do me a favor.
What?
Get me a pass to the penitentiary. I want to see Carl.
Is that smart?
Don't let me down, Bob, please.
When do you want to go with?
Tomorrow.
Better get some sleep first.
I guess I should.
I'll have a pass for you by now.
Bob, I don't want to go on living. I don't want to live. Thanks for not saying anything. How is Dad?
Worried about you.
Don't let him be. Tell him it's got nothing to do with him. Tell him I love him. Tell him I'm still very proud of him. Make him believe it, Bob. Make him believe it. Thanks. Hold my hand for just a minute, will you? Stop shaking for a minute.
Mister for you, Carl. Who?
Don't bother. I don't want to see anyone.
Open the door, please.
Well, I don't know, Miss Mallory.
You let her in here, I'll break every bone in her body.
That's all right, too.
Well, maybe it is for you, miss, but that's more responsibility than I'd like to take.
That sale pass was signed by the governor, I believe.
That's right, Miss
Would you
Mallory.
like me to go back to him and say that you refused to let me in?
No.
You heard me, Fred, and I meant every word of it.
I take full responsibility for anything that happens. Will you please open the door?
Well... You need me, miss? I'll be right here.
What'd you come here for, to laugh at me?
You see me laughing.
The hanging takes place on the 24th. Maybe you'd like to throw a party that night. If it gets loud enough, you won't hear the clock strike.
Don't, Carl.
Should have brought your father along. That would have made the joke complete.
He doesn't even know I'm here.
Why are you here? No one asked you.
let you say or do anything you want to me. I've no comeback.
You admit you double-crossed me.
Yes.
You made a great sap out of me, didn't you? I wasn't kidding. You were.
No, I wasn't.
Sure. Put your arms around me. It's easier that way to slip the rope around a guy's neck.
It wasn't like that. I'd known what they were going to make me do to you. I'd never have gone back home.
No one makes a person do what you've done. It was your testimony that hung me, no one else's. Is that right?
Yes.
You didn't have to talk, did you?
No.
Yet you stand there and you try to make out like you were still saving yourself for me, like I was the only guy on earth you'd ever go for.
Yes, that's all true.
Explain it to me!
I can't. You'll just have to believe it.
Don't make sense.
No. No sense at all. It still matters more than anything else in the whole world.
You're just a lousy woman. What'd you have to come here for?
Oh, but darling, this isn't enough. It's better than nothing.
I don't know. If this is real, how could you have let your old man talk you into doing what you did to him?
My dear, I don't know. But he's good and decent, and he's worked so hard, to be honest. His whole life was going to be ruined.
Honest? Are you kidding?
No, why should I?
That crook crying about 60,000. If we'd known then what we know now, we'd have really made him bleed. He could have forked up twice that without even noticing it.
That's not true. He went into debt for everything he owned to pay you.
The old boy's a smart operator, I'll say that. It ain't easy to nick a city for $500,000 and still look like Honest Joe.
Dad's never taken a penny of graft in his life.
Well, that ain't what we hear around this place, and you get things pretty good here. Maybe you ought to ask him sometime.
Oh, you're not serious, are you?
I'm giving it to you straight. If you don't know by now, it's time you found out.
But it's not true. Dad only gets $10,000 a year.
Okay, so I'm wrong.
Must be. Because if you're not...
Forget it. We ain't got so much time we can waste it arguing.
No.
Sorry, time's up, miss.
Doctor.
Sorry, miss.
Will you come back?
Every day if you want me to.
I want you to.
It's funny, you know. For years you live so close to a person you feel you know all about them. Something happens and in a few weeks you're strangers.
It won't last. You look tired, sir.
It's a different kind of tired. Oh, hello, Meg.
Hello, Dad.
How are you? What kind of a day did you have? Bob said you drove out of town.
Yes, I needed some fresh air. Dad.
Yes?
I might as well come right out with this, I guess. Someone asked me a question today, and I couldn't answer it.
Yes?
How did you get the $60,000?
Who'd ask you a thing like that?
People get curious, I guess. It only bothered me because I didn't know.
Well, there's no secret to it. It was a weekend, and I couldn't get in touch with a lot of people. I went to George Prescott at the Midland Bank and put up everything I own, and he gave me the cash.
Did you have enough even then?
No, but George is an old friend. I gave him my personal note, and he made up the rest himself.
I see. Dad, I knew it would something like that. I knew it. I'll go. I want to go up and change anyway. Been in these clothes long enough. Danvers, come in.
Hello, Meg. Is your father in?
Thank you, Meg.
Oh, hello, Sid.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute, Will.
Oh, I guess that's allowed. Bob, would you go down to the corner and get some cigars? I think we're out.
Right.
Shall we go in here?
Okay.
Well, what's it now?
It's not good, Will. It's not good at all. The reform crowd's been looking around for something to hang a crusade on. Now they think they've found it.
Huh? What have they landed on this time?
The 60,000 ransom for Staunton. I don't know who they got to over at the Midland, but they found out that all those notes you signed were phony, and you drew the ransom money out of your own account, and there's still a tidy sum left over.
They timed it just right. They know you made out your income tax 2 months ago. The money was all in the bank then, but it didn't show up on your tax.
Oh, well, what about J.P.? What's he trying to do, get rid of me?
He didn't want you to pay the money in the first place, remember?
Well, what do you expect me to do?
You could have played it smarter, Will. You could have really borrowed the money the way you made people think instead of drawing it all out in cash.
But I tell you, there wasn't time. Every hour counted. He knows that.
That's how we all make mistakes when we're in a hurry.
And in J.B.'s book, there's no room for mistakes, not even one.
Yeah, but does he realize what this means? They can haul me into court, send me up for 10 years.
That's right, Will. They can.
He really expects you will.
I should have known what a dirty crowd I was playing with. Good night, gentlemen.
I'm sorry you're taking it this way, Will. After all, we warned you.
Good night, Meg.
Meg. How long have you been there?
Long enough. You lied to me. You lied.
Now, listen, Meg.
No, I should have listened to Carl. But I was a fool. I thought you were good and honest and decent. Well, that's a laugh. You're nothing but a crook.
No,
and
Meg.
this is what I've been living with all my life.
No.
Whatever Carl did, he never lied. But you had to hammer at me and hammer at me till you forced me to walk into court and send him to his death.
Yeah, but he was a kidnapper.
Yes, he was a kidnapper. I don't forgive him that. But he was only a $60,000 crook. You were an honest man with $500,000 in the bank you'd been stealing for years.
What?
Yes, you might as well know, too. You've trusted him and protected him and pitied him. Well, he's not worth anyone's pity now. He's cheated all of us.
You don't know what you're saying, Meg.
I know exactly what I'm saying. And I know just what I want him to remember when I leave. On the 24th of this month, the boy's going to hang because of you. Because it meant more to you to save your name than to save his life.
Oh, Meg.
Don't pretend. There's no heart there. There never has been.
Bob, call Dr. Carter, quick. Meg. Meg. It's just what I needed the most.
Now let's pause a moment, look again at our Westinghouse program and Betty Prentiss. Freedom from cooking drudgery. Say, I guess all women are interested in that.
You bet we are. And that's why I'm so interested in showing you this Westinghouse Commander electric range. For instance, here's freedom from wasted time in the kitchen. What is it? It's by far the fastest cooking surface unit on the market today. It's the sensational Westinghouse Super Corox unit. Just turn it on back here, and it's hot right now and red hot in 30 seconds. It gets your cooking off to a faster start. Why, you can even fry bacon and eggs in just 3 minutes from a cold start. And here's something else that I wanted to show you. It's the Westinghouse 2-level speed cooker. In the well position like this, it's wonderful for stews or deep fat frying or lots of other cooking jobs. But suppose you want a 4th surface unit. Well, You just lift it up like this, give it a turn to the side, and there you are, a fourth surface unit. And every one of these 4 fast surface units brings you freedom from watching the pot. And that's because these color glance controls each give you 5 different speeds of heat, and they're measured with absolute scientific accuracy to cook every food just right. This really wonderful Westinghouse Commander range frees you from baking troubles, too. And that's because the miracle sealed oven gives you perfect baking results every time. And that's because the heat is so evenly balanced that you can bake in any rack position. And look, all the way around here, there's a seal of fiberglass. It's a Westinghouse exclusive, and it seals all of the heat inside the oven. Oh, that reminds me, when you cook the Westinghouse electric way, you're free from an overheated kitchen, too, and from all the grease and grime that accumulates on walls and curtains from other kinds of cooking. So go to the Freedom Fair at your Westinghouse dealers and see this most perfect, most modern range that you ever set your eyes on. I know you'll be thrilled with it. And remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
We return now to Westinghouse Studio 1 and the story of Meg Mallory.
Ah, Mr. Downs, it's a long time. Come in.
I was looking for Miss Mallory.
She has not come in yet, but she will be here very soon, I think. Sit down and you can wait for her.
She's a pretty regular customer by now, I guess.
It's not good what happens to her, Mr. Downs. Such a nice girl.
She has reason enough, Droppo.
So much she talk about her father. This night they arrest him. This is very bad. She's up on that table there, yelling. Big speech she make. Send him up for 20 years. Send him up for life. And then she left. Wild. You know, left and left. This is her now.
Well, here I am, Droppo. I'm not late, am I?
There is someone here to see you, Miss Mallory.
See me. Who speaks to Meg Mallory these days?
I'd like to speak to you, Meg.
Go right ahead. Well, I get myself a drink. Come on, get busy, Droppo. Do you want me to pour my own? Well,
Your father's very ill, Meg. He may die. He'd like to see you.
does he want me to appear at his trial, too?
He'd just like to see you.
So does Carl. Only he can't send anyone to tell me. He's been dead 2 weeks. Better get yourself a drink.
Well, let's face it, Will. The really tough matter is a city contracting corporation. You've been listening to one word I've said.
I'm sorry.
I was afraid of that.
Well, I'll try to keep my mind on it.
Well, here's the important thing. Obviously, the contracting corporation is a dummy. It's been collecting $10,000 a year from the city for work that hasn't been done in 10 years. Well, we've no defense for that. However, your name doesn't appear anywhere as an officer of the corporation, and 6 other names do. Now, I think we can make a very good deal.
I see. All I have to do is give in 6 names.
That's right.
Give in the names of 6 friends of mine, and they'll go to jail.
Well, possibly, but after all, think what they were ready to do to you.
Oh, no. I still have left a little of what they call honor among thieves. It isn't much, but I'll hold on to it.
You ought to think of Meg, too.
Well, I am thinking of Meg.
I'm sorry, but I'll have to ask you to leave now, Mr. Prentiss. You must be getting the patient ready for the night.
Yes. Well, think about it a while, Will. I'll come back tomorrow.
Sorry, Graham. I know how hard you've worked on this.
Well, we expect that sort of thing.
How's the breathing? Is it a little easier?
Yes. I will want an oxygen tank tonight.
In that case, we'll just let you rest for another hour. If you want anything, just press the button. Oh, I'm afraid it's too late tonight, Mr. Downs.
Oh, no. I want to see him.
Well, just 3 minutes, Mr. Downs, no longer.
She wouldn't come with you, huh?
No?
I'm afraid she's walked out on both of us. But I haven't given up yet. You shouldn't either. Try again tomorrow. And the next day, and the next. Someday.
Just like that, this great heart stopped beating, and Will Mallory was dead. He was a good man, a humble man, but he was great in his humility, and that is the one thing we will all remember about Will Mallory. Rising from a poor and humble station in life, he became, through his own efforts, a leader of men, holding the highest office in this, our fair city. He was a man of integrity, a man of justice. Even though he suffered unjustly, he never acted unjustly. Will Mallory was a man. Will Mallory, a faithful pilot who guided the ship of state through the rocks and shoals of adversity and brought it.
All right now, Bob.
Will Mallory is a man who...
I didn't come here to laugh.
I know that, Meg.
I came to give you something. It's a letter I wrote you this morning. I even got it signed by a notary. I hope that makes it official enough.
What is it?
Everything Dad left me. All but $100 I'm taking with me. I'm giving it to you, Bob. I want you to use it to help someone. Someone like Carl or Dad. Who may have done some terrible wrong, but who isn't a criminal at heart. There must be so many.
If that's what you want, I'll do what I can, Meg.
Dear Bob, I've never given you anything before. Now, when I do, it's more a burden
It'll
than
keep
anything
you in my
else.
mind, Meg.
No, not as I am. Perhaps if you can still remember what I was.
I can.
I can't. Bob, what happened? It was such a beautiful world once. Then all of a sudden, in a few short months, everything turned so mean, ugly, and small. I look around. I can't see the town I used to love as a child. There was something about it, and the people who lived in it, that you could trust. You knew you'd never be ashamed of them. And now, I live with nothing else but shame. Shame for myself and for Dad. For the things we've done and the things that have been done to us.
No, Meg.
We grew lazy. We let a disease grow up within us and around us. But I know deep within me, there was a time when this couldn't have happened. And I believe that somewhere in this country, there's a place where it couldn't happen now. Going to try to find it.
That's not the answer, Meg.
Why not?
What you're looking for is never offered on a platter. You've got to work for it and build it inside yourself. You can find it right here. This is still the same town you once knew, Meg. There's still people here you can love and trust. But you've got to work for it.
Wish you hadn't said that. It would have been so easy the other way.
You won't find it easier anywhere else, Meg. Maybe that's what's wrong with all of us. We want it to be easy. We expect it to be. It never is.
No. Guess not. But I'll need so much help, Bob.
I've nothing else that matters.
Meg Mallory stayed in Rockport, and Rockport again became a decent American community. But how is it in your town? Are you taking it easy? Does your town measure up to what Meg knew a town ought to be? Is something happening you don't like while your back is turned? Can you be sure that what happened to Meg Mallory 15 years ago couldn't happen in your town today? Are you sure? If not, shouldn't you make sure?
And now Betty Prentiss wants to show you a picture of freedom.
Here they are again. Those great Westinghouse appliances that are now on display in the Freedom Fair at your Westinghouse dealers. They bring you hours of freedom from drudgery every day. Here's the frost-free refrigerator. It brings you freedom from all the nuisance of defrosting. And the Westinghouse electric sink frees you forever from washing dishes. And here's freedom from cooking drudgery in the new Westinghouse electric range. And here are America's favorite laundry twins, the Westinghouse laundromat and the clothes dryer. They free you from all the work of washing and drying clothes. And the Westinghouse electric water heater frees you from waiting for precious hot water. It keeps water hot always and at low cost. And here is real freedom from the messy chore of emptying garbage. It's the wonderful Westinghouse Waste Away. See for yourself how each of these great Westinghouse appliances brings new freedom into your home. And remember, your own Westinghouse dealer invites you to come to the Freedom Fair.
Westinghouse, maker of more than 40 million products for the American home. And here's a word to all Westinghouse dealers and salesmen. Be sure to attend the Westinghouse Freedom Fair Sales Rally in your area. Phone your Westinghouse distributor for the dates. And now until next week,